This week on From Mill to Still, we get new equipment, we fix some old equipment, and we do some plaster. So,
stay tuned.
Nailed it, dude.
I got it.
Hey, what's the deal with this sand? What's so special about this sand?
It's
Smells like normal sand.
yeah. The special is we get it from the river. So we got original place.
That's badass. This isn't Lowe's sand. This is
that's a real thing.
This is real sand. This is the sand that they probably made or they got back when they built this building. This is the sand they used, and this is the sand that you guys are using now.
Yes, sir.
Did you find this sand?
See?
No. Yeah. What part of the creek? Is this under the bridge?
Yeah, the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's cool about this sand is that it moves. So we have a storm like the flood the other day, and all of a sudden the little, what do you call it, honey hole where you're getting the sand is now covered in mud. So you have to go to a different spot and get sand from there. And you can't just use any sand. If there's silt and debris in it, the mortar won't cure, right? It won't get hard.
Yeah, it get hard.
And we had that happen once.
Yes.
And this stuff, no good, right?
Yeah.
$5. That's $5 sand. Anyway, that's super cool. I know I talk about the sand like all the time, but like this is it in our hands. So that's the sand from the creek. What does Home Improvement say? Today on Tool Time, I'm Tim Allen and this is my co-host Al Borland. Anyway, what we're doing with this sand? What are we doing with this sand?
Plaster.
Plaster, let's go check it out.
Yeah.
So Eric, you're here plastering this wall up right now, and you've got this old window that was bricked all the way up, and you bricked it halfway up.
Yes, sir. Halfway.
And then, because the outside wall is actually, stop playing with sand.
Yeah.
The outside wall actually comes into this, so we had to brick it up and waterproof it. And then we're gonna frame a little, we're gonna have shelving in here. So we're in the high proof spirits area right here. We had to fix these walls where the floor joist came out, and Eric is doing the final coat or first coat? This is the final coat.
That's the final
plaster.
coat. Yeah, yeah.
So you use, what is it? Portland cement?
Portland cement.
And sand.
Sand from the river.
And then what, is that it?
Yeah, and we put some primer first.
The blue stuff.
Yeah,
that primer is so that it sticks to the brick real good.
Yes, sir.
And that's really cool. And that's just to make, we're not doing that everywhere. In a lot of places we're just painting over the chipped off areas, but here, sometimes we might have patched with blocks, sometimes we need it just to be clean and washable. So he's making a clean, washable surface here for us. We're not doing this everywhere, we're just doing it where we need it to be done. So that happened this week. This is a lot of freaking work.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I thought this was like drywall where it go fast, but no.
Maybe 2 or 3 times, sometimes cup, you know, 1, 2, 3 cup sometimes.
And you scratch it and
scratch
it.
Yeah, leaving a couple hours to get it dry.
Yeah. Cool. Anyway, that's this week. Poof! We're at the distillery. Hey, Jordan.
Hey, I'm here all the time.
Oh, I'll be here more often, I promise.
I don't know if that's good.
What happened this week? More stuff happened in here, huh?
Yep. Yeah, Trevor came back.
Yeah, good.
To work on the still some more. Democracy was already hooked up. Now he kind of worked out the kinks with Democracy.
Yep.
It's running smooth on our new computer, or our new controller.
That's crazy and sad at the same time. He's replaced my old technology with his new fancy technology, and you like it?
Yep, it runs well.
That's so cool.
I might have a few like minor tweaks I want to do, but overall, it's good.
That's a good sign. It means it's not like such a rudimentary process. Like he's doing some legitimate work fixing those things. And I had to waller out a hole or two for him in Liberty.
Oh yeah, that was kind of scary.
But you're not like, that's not going yet, right?
What's not?
The hole I drilled for the thermal well.
No.
I'm excited. So controlling the heat is on off, but controlling the cooling is modulating, which means, well, in my brain, it's much more complicated because instead of just turning on and off, you're turning off to on and everywhere in between. But as complicated as that might sound, it's actually easier to control, because with on and off, you have to be like on, off, on, off, on, off. With modulating control, you can be like kind of on, I don't know, kind of off. So that's cool. He's gonna do that next week, maybe?
Maybe. He's coming next week to do some more stuff.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
We'll see. So also check out me drilling this hole up here.
Permanently damaging our still.
Yeah, I'm just wallering. I mean, I've drilled so many holes in the last 2 weeks, and I've got more to drill. I still got to drill the big one, but we're gonna make sure Independence works. Sorry, we're gonna make sure Democracy and Liberty run to your standards before that.
Yeah, Liberty still needs a little work. It worked the other night, or yesterday, distilling. The shift ran a little longer than usual, so I think there's a couple adjustments to make, but it did make a little bit more liquor than the week before, so that could have something to do with the new controls. So
It
cool.
doesn't. It's your cellar work, man. Your cellar work's killing it. So just to fill everybody in, by the way, Trevor, he got in here to fix our equipment. We'd been talking to Trevor about upgrading our technology to the Century, but like at the end of this, the factory will have distillery automation that's expandable, reliable, redundant in the aspect of if something breaks, something else fills its shoes. It just gives you more control and safer control over the entire production area. So it's really proud. I was so proud. Anyway, I'm happy about that, and that happened this week. So stay tuned for all of our technology advances.
Cool,
it looks really cool.
Got all the images up.
Check out this screen. It's badass. I'm super excited about this Facebook. I keep wanting to say Craigslist, but this Facebook Marketplace find, the Ferrari of air compressors. And I'll explain in a minute, but first, how do you feel about this Elgi rotary scroll air compressor that you're sitting on?
Well, it's not the most comfortable seat in the house, but
It's not the best seat, sure.
No, I do love it though. It's,
Yeah.
I don't know that I notice a whole ton of difference at the other end of the building, but it is so much quieter.
That's
so usually,
huge.
like even during tours on Saturdays, randomly this guy would cut on just in the middle of a tour, and people would be like, "What's that?" And they're like, "Don't worry about it, just the air compressor." This one might still do that, unlikely, but it's so quiet when it does.
That's awesome. I love it. So our Ingersoll is very nice. Don't get me wrong. Like that is a beast of an air compressor, but it's loud. It's 460 volts. It's 5 horsepower, 60-gallon tank. It does, I think, 15 CFM. I mean, you can look it up if you don't believe me. You shouldn't believe me, but 15 CFM, and not constant duty, just 15 CFM. It's a very nice air compressor, and hell, it took 8 years of business to even get that. So. Love it to death, but the ultimate
keeping
deal.
it for some other uses.
We are going to keep it, hopefully to run sprinklers and stuff like that. So we are, and I'm a hoarder. So this thing was on Facebook for like I stole it price, or they stole it price, and turns out they didn't steal it. They were just a big company unloading a bunch of equipment, and I picked it up assuming that it was broken. So watch these videos. We got Trinity and Max loading up the new air compressor. Got it, Max? Come on, Max, pick it up. 1, 2, 3.
Max, do it all by yourself.
Oh, thanks a lot. What are you, the manager? Okay, so I got our new air compressor up on the ledge, and this is one of the few things for the mill that we're actually going to wire into the old facility and use before we then reinstall it in the new facility. Mostly because I want to make sure it works. I don't even know if this machine works yet. So I'm trying to do as little effort to get it wired up and running to make sure it works so I don't waste too much time on it. But what I've done is I took it off the trailer, and I don't have the kids with me this time, but I took that giant pallet off, made a little skid just so I can move it around, and that's lag screwed onto the thing so I can pick it up. It's minimal, and I set the legs just long enough to where I could get them into the back, but then leave me a little clearance. So let's see how she looks next to the Ingersoll. I made some room over here, and we're just gonna slide her back into this hole. There's my disconnect right there. We're running 15 amps. So yeah, that's it. What I'm thinking here, the reason I picked this up, not just because of the sweet deal, but also because this we could grow into, and it's more versatile in a workshop and more versatile for bottle filling equipment, explosion-proof pumps. Like that guy right there demands a lot of air, and I have several others that demand a lot of air. This guy could run 2 of those pumps simultaneously, and I have one pump that's probably still too big for that guy. But anyway, this thing I'll probably end up using the Ingersoll for a dry sprinkler system. So that's a hell of a backup air compressor for a dry sprinkler system. So, and I've got this air dryer, this micro pour air dryer that I'll probably mount to this machine one day, you know, and use that. That'll be super cool. I can't run both at the same time, or one and then the other super easy. So I'm gonna do just a sound comparison between the two. So I've already bled the air out. I'm gonna cut this on, just listen to it for a minute. So that's not super loud. That's a nice air compressor. Proud of that thing. Yeah, so let's see, next step is to change the wiring from 208 volts that it was running on to we're gonna transform it over to 460 volts. So, not gonna lie, I've already done that, but here's the wiring diagrams, and we gotta change the low voltage and the control wiring over over here and here. So we gotta fix that, or adjust that for the higher voltage. And then the motor has to be reconfigured to run on the higher voltage. And I've already done it. So I moved the link on this for this guy. And I've reworked all these motor wires that come in. Motor wires come on 3-phase motors, and it's they're linked differently for the low voltage versus high voltage. So I pulled the links out, and it's as simple as that. You know, reading a wiring diagram, which is in the manual that you can get on the internet, and doing it. And I already did that off camera. So now I'm gonna hook up these 3 terminals. All right, so we've got everything wired up and works, and nothing's, you know, zapping anything. So we're gonna do a sound test. Let's turn it on and see the difference in volume. That's no load. Now it's loaded. Anyway. So we got the thing, it works, everything's great, and it's awesome. And it's constant duty. Like, you could sandblast with this, you could paint with this. It runs 25 CFMs constantly. It doesn't even technically need the tank. The tank's just there for looks, I guess. I don't know, but it's really cool. It is the Ferrari of air compressors, and I love it.
And it looks cool.
It does look cool.
I feel like we're in like Terminator 2.
I feel like this would be on the set of a Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
If you know me, you know I love Star Trek.
I just feel like it's a machine you pass when you're going through Skytrack, or not Skytrack.
What's the show?
Skynet in Terminator. You know when they're going to in Terminator 2, they're going to get the hand or whatever. This is like a machine you pass on.
It would be, yeah. You wouldn't look at this as a normal human and be like, "No, it's an air compressor." No, you'd be like, "Oh, what spaceship did this come off of?" Yeah. Jordan, it has been brought to my attention that some people may not know why a distillery or brewery or alcohol manufacturing establishment would need an air compressor. On top of having an air compressor, why would you need the Ferrari of air compressors?
We use it for a ton of stuff here. So most frequently, probably I'd say, is our bottling line.
Bottling line, yep.
To drop our fill heads down onto our bottles, we need air from the air compressor coming through. And then down the bottling line, when we're putting on the labels, that air is what actuates our gripper and spins the labels on. And we have air knives, which I didn't know was a thing until I came here, which is really cool.
I didn't
know
it
like
they were
clears off our labels with air as it goes on. So, you know,
yes. So when a label goes past the peel plate, which you should probably point out for them
up there,
when it goes through, to keep it in the right direction. There's little air knives that blow on it. That's really cool. I didn't know they existed until the machine showed up.
Yeah,
And
you
then,
see it in the software. Air knives.
Yeah, this isn't a real thing.
Yeah.
You got a
Pumps,
pump?
Yeah, tons of air pumps here. There's one behind the old camera grill over there that we use to distribute our hearts into our different, products. Whether we're gonna make silver rum, flavored rum, go into a barrel, whatever, we're using an air pump to pump it over. And then we also have a new air pump in the cellar that we're using.
Yep.
With the farmer.
That big, massive sundrop pump.
Yep.
For the dunder.
Yep, we're moving our dunder from, instead of it being wasted, it's going to a farm, and they have some uses for it that they're checking out. Pretty cool, going to like cattle and stuff like that.
Okay,
so you guys saw it last week.
Yeah, check it out in this info card right here.
I hope it's over there, not over there.
It's maybe over here.
For your entertainment, please enjoy these videos of the cows and pigs eating the dunder.
Well, wait,
if
let
my
me talk
tires are ever low on air, I can just pull up in the back here.
We have air at the end because you use that all the time. I have airbags on my truck for moving liquor and heavy things so I can beef up the suspension. The air pumps are kind of a new thing around here, and they're nice because you can pump 90% alcohol, where before I used to just siphon with gravity 90% alcohol.
I cannot imagine.
Yeah. Thousands of gallons. Most of the barrels in here were filled via siphon.
That explains a lot about you.
Yeah, it does. But those air pumps are good because if they're grounded properly, they're explosion proof. The only thing I worry about is static electricity buildup, which is a thing that will blow you up. And they're self-priming, so you don't, like a centrifugal pump, you have to get full of liquid for it to pump. An air pump technically will pump air into it, so it'll suck the liquid through it. And that, especially with totes and stuff, is huge. So we aerate mash. With it.
Yep.
So, God, how did I go 8 years without a freaking air compressor? Like, it blows my mind, but future equipment will have air connections. We aerate our mash, meaning when the mash is ready for yeast, we just pump clean, filtered air into the mash, aerating it, getting oxygen into it so the yeast reproduces. You can check out our How Fermentation Goes Down video for that. Yeah, that's pretty much, one more thing. This thing.
The Bulldog.
The Bulldog. I almost forgot we had. We don't like to use this. This is the not cool way.
When I'm alone, that's what I use.
Because it's safest.
Yeah.
Until you blow up a barrel. But the Bulldog. So how's this work?
Look at my airline here. Then I don't want to drop it, but
You jab it in.
Yeah, you jab it down through the bung hole on a barrel, up to the top, and you hook your hose up here with a clamp.
Nice and slow.
And then when your air's hooked up here, you just turn it on, and it's gonna, I guess, push air down to force it back up.
Yeah, it pushes air in here, I believe.
Yeah.
Through this hole, and the
it
air
forces the
liquid
come up through the tube here. So if I have my barrel down, it's so much easier than doing it basically any other way. It's not as cool though. Yeah, it just pumps it out of my hose. I don't have to worry about gravity, what's at what height or anything. Pumps it in my tote or my stainless steel drum, whatever I'm using to make that batch of Queen Charlotte or whatever we're working on. And
Yeah, so it is.
That's
It
cool.
is a safe, nice way. It's not as cool as when you dump a barrel over, and it just glugs away.
Yeah, it doesn't smell as good either. But.
Yeah. That's what we use air for. So if you're wondering, wonder no more. Anyway, that happened this week. Super cool. And so concludes this week at Muddy River Distillery from mill to still. Thank you so much for watching this week. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Come out to the distillery and see what's going on. Check out our other videos and other things and stuff and whatever.
Yep.
We have cocktails. We have what's going on.
We do still have cocktails. We do still make rum here.
This may be YouTube's best channel, one of them. If you're into distilling, this is the best YouTube channel
For sure.
you can go to. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. Don't be dumb, drink Carolina rum. We'll see you next time.